Oh wow, last few days of April, getting already in May. It feels like the year is already flying right before our eyes. But I'm just doing some adjustments here in my camera. Okay, let's see here. The blur. I think I'll be able to adjust this. Okay, change the camera and the touch. Just slightly. I'm gonna show my wrinkles. Yes, the wrinkles, the aging. That's the scary part. It's like aging and getting old. Well, but everybody's gonna get there. But anyways, we are live on Facebook as well. And welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. And put in the comments. We have already some of our friends on Facebook. Again, I'm just adjusting here. I want to make sure that I have everything going right. Yes, there we go. This is happening now. Here I do have some of my friends connected. Zoom. I have some of my friends connected with us on Facebook. And shortly after our call, we will also be on YouTube. You can find the link of my YouTube channel right here on my Facebook profile. Well, today is Monday, April the 29th, or 29th, yes. And man, what a week. What a week, a lot of interesting challenges. I personally feel that when you are going through some challenges that you're already dealing with, it's it's easier to protect yourself and your mind, and it's easier to step back and say, okay, I'm gonna go through this, and you kind of know what to expect. I think the hardest ones are the type of challenges that they come like on a curveball and hit you right in the middle of the chest. It's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, but you gotta keep moving. And this weekend, as I am committed in these conversations to every week read at least one book that I'm going to bring to the conversation. I try to keep reading as many books as I can. But this week, I read the book called You Can't Hurt Me, written by Mr. Goggins. A very, very, very interesting conversation on the book through his lens. And man, this guy is remarkable. If you have the opportunity, I'm gonna get his right name here, and I'm gonna put on the chat. I'm getting the information. I made my notes here. I gotta make sure that I get them right. Just gonna do one quick thing here because I remember as I am organizing myself in this life of videotaping myself, then why not? Okay, I gotta change and open another screen. And as I open the other screen, we can talk about the book Can Hurt Me. I get his name. David Goggins. You guys should Google this guy. If you never heard of David Goggins, you should. Phenomenal individual, like his mindset. And he started the book, and I made some very important notes here. Have you ever wondered where your possibilities end? What are you really capable of? Often, we are so eager to stay in our comfort zone that we don't even try to test our potential. We readily choose the familiar and expected, stealing our chance to become more prominent, braver, and freer. Accepting your suffering and use it as a springboard to discover your true power. I mean, this book is a book full of nuggets, like full of nuggets. Great, 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 great book. Probably one of the best books I ever read. And of course, he shares his personal experience in becoming a Navy SEAL and also going through the Air Force. Like, absolutely incredible. And the amount of suffering that he endured, the amount of challenges that he endured. Oh, we have some other friends coming here. I'm gonna get back there. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me see here. Participants and yes, come on in. Good, great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My people from Edmonton, Western Canada is joining our call. I'm so happy to see you here this morning. Welcome to our conversation. And David Goggins, he did a research, and on the book he talks about that we only use 40% of your natural capabilities. Shocking. This is shocking, right? Because it means that we still have 60% available that could radically, like radically change our lives. But how can we then access this power? And one of the cases he shares that he was training for the Navy SEAL and he was in the pool and he felt that he was dying. Like he felt that his kidneys they are failing and he's like, I'm gonna die. And that's when he pushed through his mind and think I can do this and revisiting, and he was able to finish the test. Again, I can say this about myself that when I am facing challenges and when I've been thrown real challenges in every direction, my brain tries to shut off and put me in a almost like a zombie state, right? That not moving, I don't want to think. And very often, I think it's important for everybody to have a escape, especially when you are under tremendous stress and duress. But for me, is binge watching the corniest TV shows you can imagine, like the corniest, Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance, like the other show that I like. Oh, this type of shows that are so cheesy, blind, Love is Blind, like this kind of shows, like so cheesy and it's not even entertaining. Most of the time, it's like boring. But at least like, I don't have to think about anything. But again, the fact that I try to avoid the pain, it doesn't change the fact that the pain is still there. And like I read this book before, revisited this weekend, and whoa, what an amazing, amazing reminder to myself. It's like, man, this dude, I'm so glad he shared this book with everybody. We together can discover how to find the hidden source of energy that is like above physical pain, but it is like also understanding the limit and push through the limit and become unstoppable. But we, many times, many people um, would love to start from a place of calmness and no pain and no challenges. I mean, this is the comfort zone, right? And often I hear people saying, no, if you want to push yourself, get yourself out of the comfort zone. And then we do it. And then it's like, oh, but it's like, I want to go back to the comfort zone. Like, so bad because it hurts so bad. And I don't think I'm going to survive. And I don't think I can do this. Yes, we can do like we can do these things. Um, like regardless from where you started, you have the power to change everything. Someone told me recently, I was having a discussion with someone, and on that conversation, the individual said to me, you know, I hear you speaking on stages and I see you in conferences and always being positive and telling people to do this and to do that. And but then at times when you are not in these places, you're not in the environment, where is the energy? Where is that vibe? It's like, well, there are some places that I can be vulnerable. Yes, but I think that's fake. And they're faking it. And then the other person said, well, yes, you gotta fake it to make it. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry, but I gotta stop you both. And I'll say this, I don't fake until I make it. I am behaving so I will become. I am behaving as the person I want to become. When I come and I see the challenges that are in front of me, I literally think what my future self would be saying right now in the future, thinking back on this challenge or this situation. Um, and again, I go back to the book because one of the highlights that I wrote is that David Goggins, he was talking about a moment that was like after a brutal beating, and he comes from a very abusive household. His father was a physically abusive. So, anyways, his mom, she was like a brutal beating, and she called the police. But then instead of being rescued, they had to watch his father being a smooth talker and laughing and complaining with the police and walking the police man to their car, just complaining about his marriage. And he thought, there's no way out of this. One day, his mom, she found a strength to get out of the relationship, right? And he talks about the facing severe reality and fight. Last week or the week before, I rewatched the movie in Pursuit of Happiness, another phenomenal movie, like a phenomenal movie. And also comes from struggle, not physical abuse, at least not the movie don't portray anything like that. But the guy was sleeping on the bathroom of New York subway system. And I watched it this week as well, Taylor Perry's movie. OMG. Taylor Perry is probably uh, I mean, one of the richest, I mean, he's definitely one of the richest men in North America, but in Hollywood, he is extremely powerful. And he's not even in Hollywood. He's in Georgia, in Atlanta, and he's built his dream studios there right now. But it's just looking at the life of these individuals that faced so many challenges and they overcame, right? And then one of the things that David Goggins talks in the book is that tomorrow depends on the decisions we make today. Tomorrow depends on the decisions we make today. Now, if I decide, and I have tried, one day I wake up and there was one day that I had to deal with so many things that I thought to myself, I will not get out of the bed. I will stay in bed all day long, going to sleep. I'm gonna do something else, but I will not get out of here. Well, it didn't last long because my son called me and needed help in changing, or so he needed help with something. Like, so my plan to stay in bed now is out of the window. Like I can't. But then personally, when I see a challenge coming my way, I want to avoid, like, I don't want to be in pain. And like, I hate, and I say this, I have low pain tolerance. And then I have to hear people say, oh, yeah, this is a man thing. Man has low pain tolerance, anyways. Women, they can endure more pain. I would say so. Like, I believe women can endure more pain. It's been wired that way. But it doesn't mean that the fact, or it doesn't despite the fact that even though women have a higher tolerance for pain, it doesn't mean that men doesn't go through pain as well. Now, how we deal with this and how we carefully assess the challenge that you're facing to then keep taking steps forward will determine how we are going to end up. And there are some steps that will help you and me if you're going through a transformation. One, write down all your dreams and stick them on your mirror. I'm going to say it again. Write down your dreams, all of them. Stick them on your mirror. Identify your current stage of achieving your goal and determine the next step. have a separate note for every small step and peel it off the mirror after you finish. Now, so many of us, we know this. And we go to this meditation retreats, we go to this visualization conversations. We know this. But are we actually doing it? And you you are. I can say the same about myself. I start, and all of a sudden, I stop, and then I said, no, I gotta continue, and then I do it again. It's always this fight with myself to keep doing it, right? Like I'm always challenging myself. No, go back to journaling, go back to putting that down. And yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my friends that I visited, and she endured a like serious surgery, like knee replacement and some other things that she had to be taken care of. And she turned to me and she asked me, "Do you take any medication, Sandra?" But no, medication for what? I don't take any medication. It's like, well, I think you have all the symptoms of someone that is TDAH. TDAH. Oh, I don't think so. Well, her son, he's been diagnosed and he's on medication. And as she's talking, it's like, oh my goodness, I might, but mine is really light. But as I'm reflecting, then I get home and then I open my computer and I start researching. But then I'm like, okay, a lot of times, it might be right, and I'm gonna go see the doctor this week to do a test and actually determine if I have some TDAH. I know one thing for a fact, that I am hyperactive. Yes, I am. But then, even though I do understand that this might be a challenge, for me, it's all about framing in a way that I keep doing the things that I have to do, even though when they are not comfortable. And why I'm saying this? Because the whole meditation, like I mentioned this another time that you're talking. When I try to meditate, my mind wanders like crazy. And it's like this. I'm gonna like it's if I was speaking out loud, right? And having that conversation out loud would be like this. Yes, today I will have a quiet day, even though I have some challenges, and I gotta call my lawyer, and I gotta call some of the investors in another project. Or by the way, they said that the tenant said that they have to go there and check and I'm meditating. Right? And I have to go there and check the garbage. Oh my goodness, they talk about the garbage. You gotta get the license for the odor and get a voucher for the storing employer because then I have to send the compost. Yes, the compost. So what if we could get the petals of the roses on the flower shop and package them and sell this? And then like now all of a sudden, like my mind goes like, and I'm like, how how did I get here? I read a very interesting book that the guy was talking on the book, like let your mind wanders, and he was just getting some techniques and just wander and write it down. I was like, oh my goodness, mine is all over the place. And then my friend is saying, yeah, but Sandro, this could be a symptom of TDAH, and go and look into it. Like, yeah, it doesn't hurt to look into it. But then I'm like, wow, but this is also uncomfortable. The idea that I might have to address this, no, I gotta get myself out of the comfort zone. And getting ourselves out of the comfort zone regularly will train our brain for new victories. Oh man, you gotta write this down. Getting out of our comfort zone regularly will train our brains for new victories. Oh, I love this. I love this. David Goggins on the book, and I'm going through my notes here. It's never too late to rewrite your story. It is never too late to rewrite your story. Um, Even though he did everything he could do to use the chance to join the Air Force after being a Navy SEAL. He was great at push ups, running, squatting, but one course was too challenging: water confidence. During the 10-week program, he underwent a special evolution to learn how to remain calm in water under stress. Every day he was humiliated in the pool, but he continued to fight. His dream faltered when, during a medical examination, he discovered that he has a disease on his heart in one of the cycle cell traits. It's like, no, this is you can experience sudden death, like you can experience a sudden death, and you shouldn't do this. And then said, you know what? I already missed half of the trials. The doctors, they said, well, it's up to you if you want to continue or not. Like, well, I'm going to do it. The decision is mine. I'm not going to give up. But anyways, after he left the program and put his military career on hold, and he no more Air Force, that's it. So he was trying the Air Force first, and then he saw the program for Navy SEALs, and then he applied. That's when he then became a Navy SEAL. But during SEAL training, he was saying this. During SEAL training, he worked very closely with the guy that wrote the book American Sniper, and became a movie and all of that. And like, just by reading some of the training that they have to go through voluntarily, it's just like they are putting themselves in the position of duress voluntarily. Would we do that? Would I do that? I probably wouldn't. But hey, what if the challenge that I'm facing, they are a result of some of the decisions that I made, and now I can't just ignore them. I gotta just keep going through them. So then, how we do this, like in an easier way? Is there an easier way? I would say, let's break the mind. How do we break the mind? Well, everything in life. I say it again. Everything in life is a mind game. Whoa, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Well, he gives an example that he had some of tactics. And when he was under mental and physical pressure, he would hum a song or smile during pain and suffering. I have tried, and one of the notes that I wrote here, in moment of despair, remember your goal and keep striving. And I remember one day I was going through this challenge. That was at the store. And I was with my business partner there, and having a very Brazilian slash Italian slash black, like passionate discussion about something. It was like, this is painful going through this. But then I said, you know what? Let's do this. Smile and force it. Ah, yeah, and I was trying to smile. Then that sounds really silly. It looked like silly because you're forcing a smile. When all you feel is like cry. It's like, no, it's smile. Then just get her hand and put her hands together. They're like, let's get the bloodstream going. Like, I can do this. It's like, even though for people looking from the outside say, these guys, like, they are crazy. What are they doing? What is that? But yet, that gets the blood flowing through the veins, and it gets like hot. It's like it helps change mood. So have you tried hum a song or place a smile in your face or do something that is literally the opposite of the circumstance just to go? Now, another factor that sometimes we also have to overcome is the little three-letter thing called ego. Like, I am guilt by association, or sometimes the ego get on the way. But we have to find a way to stop caring about what other people say. Now, it doesn't mean, and again, having a conversation recently, say, well, then, yes, you do care about what people say. I say, well, there are things that I do, but most things I try not to care. It's like, well, but then if you don't care, why at times you talk about other things, right? It's like, well, sorry, did you say something?
Ma?
Hello, Shai?
Yep.
Did you talk to me? Oh, nope. Okay. I thought it was saying something, but like just recollecting the thoughts. Was, oh, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yes, in moment of despair, remember the goal and keep trying, keep striving, keep moving, right? And it's not that I'm like faking or I'm concerned about what people will say or think. It's more about rewiring my behavior in a way that I'm always projecting what my future self can be doing, what I'm capable of. Therefore, the future self of myself that I envision will actually happen, right? Anyways, another tactic that he recommends is called closed mind. Closed mind is when you're performing some things that are outside of the comfort zone, and then is a technique that allows us to move our negative thought in that internal conversation and shift it and go beyond that either physical or mental challenge and suffering, and use that. If I'm saying, like an example, let's say, oh my goodness, this a lot of real estate investors, they will resonate with this. Wow, interest rates, they're high, and as mortgages renewal, what I was like, I'm concerned now that what I was paying now is going to be unbearable, and that's a negative thought. It's a reality. It's a sad reality. It's happening to so many investors across the country, and I'm like, so then instead of keeping that line of thought, or even though I invested in a program, I joined a mastermind, I invest thousands of dollars, and I didn't buy anything. I didn't do anything. Oh, why did I do that? So instead, use this closed mind technique and shift and use a tactic to take control of our doubts and our thoughts and mentally list our achievements. Visualize how you overcame a specific obstacle in the past. And imagine how the challenges you can meet will help you to be ready. Very, very, very interesting. And I am trying to do that. Like another day, of course, when I looked where I'm going, right? And I had a 5 year goal. And a 5 year goal was a short term. I started the whole, now I'm a real estate investor, or I am doing this professionally. And then I started when COVID started. Then I started looking for books and looking for communities and looking for ways to do things creatively, like 2019. So then I actually then joined the program, did the program for 1 year, and then I graduated. So I started in 2020. But the thing is, if I think 2019 is when it started, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We are in 2024. 6 years, or almost 6 years, has passed. And then it's easier to start beating myself up because I didn't achieve the goal. And then, of course, the negative thought is there. But then, okay, wait a minute, stop for a second and look back. And as you look back, think about how you got where you got. Like, oh my goodness, I I'm getting somewhere here, right? And remember the things that I achieved. And when you think about, oh yes, I overcame obstacles in the past. No, choose one, a specific one, and go through that thought. I was going through that challenge, and this is how I overcame. And after I overcame the challenge, that's how I felt. Like, oh, that is start changing the perspective, right? Let's keep going here. From struggle to inner peer. Wow, say it again. That would be a good cut. From struggle into inner peace. He talks about a lot of the challenges that he had to go through, and he then had this crazy idea to be a ultra marathoner, to break a record in the Guinness Book. Even after he underwent the like heart surgery and anyways, like great story. But one day his body rebelled and he couldn't get out of bed. And he like every single muscle of his body was aching. The doctors they couldn't find the cause, and he felt that he was slowly dying, lying exhausted in his bed. And he remembered that everything he did in the past and how he overcame and how he achieved. And yet he realized how demanding he was of himself. He recognized that everything he did was for acceptance. His rage and fear of worthlessness drove him, and how he saw it clearly when he was laying in bed. And then he finally found the clue of his illness. After so many years of exhausting work, his body needed care. And he then started thinking about the stretching session during his SEAL training. And then he started exercising, and that excruciating pain that he had to endure during his training has really helped him to restore and strengthen his body. Now, even if everyone says that your dream is impossible, I'm going to say it again. Even if everyone, and when I say everyone, I say everyone, I'm including your partner, your spouse, your parents, your kids, your closest friends, yourself, everyone, they turn to you and say, your dream is impossible. Just ask this one question. What if? And start the freaking journey. Frigging. Fregging. Frigging journey. Like this. Ah, do it. Like, I would say, as I was going through the book, this is definitely one of the most powerful questions in the book. What if? If I try to do this, and everybody's saying that I'm delusional, like simple examples, having this conversation one day that I had to go fly somewhere, and I had to get like three different airplanes thrown into security, and I didn't want to leave my bag to get to the destination because through the air flight company I lost luggages more than I wish. She's like, no, if I'm traveling by myself, I will not, like, I have to carry on. Anyways, it was just tedious and it was painful. And I booked the flights from Ottawa to Toronto, then from Toronto to Washington, D.C., and then from Washington, D.C. to Denver. It was just like jumping around. Um, and I booked the flights very close to each other, right? And then guess what? I missed one because the lines are so big. Anyways, and then I was having a conversation with one of the people that are traveling. It's like, oh, I can't wait to travel private. And the person looked at me as if it was like from a different universe, and I was being crazy. I'm like, what? Yeah, I can't wait to fly private. The person did this. Like, oh. I mean, it didn't even need to say anything. Like, well, what if? Right? Like, oh man, I love this. And then in conclusion, we all will have to go through hardship and pains at some point in our lives. Sometimes we try to soften life, and we have these blows and we want to stay in our comfort zone. I found my jam, and it it can turn into a prison actually. So you must surpass that familiar and comfort environment and place that you're in, and challenge yourself to go achieve your dreams. Yes, it is a challenging path that will require hard work and like struggle. And people, even the closest ones, they might say that your goals are unrealistic, but only you know the reality. The most important conversation happens inside, and you are the person who can change everything. Like nobody else but you are the person that can change everything. When you doubt yourself, just think about David Goggins. Man, this guy grew up in the hood. He came from a very abusive religion. I have no idea what's being in a physical, abusive environment from your father. Like I had, like my father is a loving guy. Never, never had this like, oh my goodness, I'm so beat up that I can't move, right? And the guy did. Not only joined the Air Force, he joined the Navy SEAL, and he broke not one but three different world records on Guinness Book. And he kept pushing, and somebody asked him, you have only three world records. Why you keep pushing? It's like, oh, I want to break my own record. Like, this is beyond. He did it. Now, I'm not doing anything at this extent, but please think this way. When you have doubt, when everybody else is doubting, and like I even changed on my Facebook, I changed my bio recently, and I wrote a phrase. People will call you crazy. People will call you delusional. People will call you a dreamer and whatever other names that they want. You are the only one that can stop you. And you are crazy, you are delusional, and you're a dreamer until it becomes reality. Then you're a genius. There are so many examples, so many people I can think of. So let's try this. And I have a challenge for you. As we start the week, I have a challenge for you. Reflect on your past victories to boost confidence in present hurdles. Push yourself more each day, even if it's like just one extra stretch, or one extra step, or one extra call, or one next conversation, encouragement, and push yourself every day. Those micro little habits compounded, they're gonna give you some. Practice self-awareness, and understanding your why can be a powerful motivator. Like, why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you making the decisions you're making? Why do you keep pushing despite of the environment telling you otherwise? Like, why? If your why is not strong enough, you should rethink. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna make a note because I have another book that I love, and I was actually here in my booklet that talks about starting with your why. Next week, let's talk about starting with your why because it just came to my mind. A fantastic book, and it's time to revisit. Because in moments of despair, thank yourself. Be thankful to yourself. Be thankful for the lessons learned on paths that are already taken. You already did it. And keep moving. Don't stop. Don't stop. It's hard. Keep going. You want to quit? Keep going. This is an interesting analogy. One of the challenges that I'm overcoming every day. The person asked me, a friend asked me, so on this challenge, how do you feel? It's like, you know, it feels like this. I was on the board, I was in the waterfront, like right there on the shore, and I looked. It was like a very large river. And then I saw an island in the middle. I had this idea. What if I try to get there like swimming? And then the person beside of me is like, oh, that's really far. but I think you can. Really? Yeah, but I don't want to go by myself. Oh, I go with you. Okay, let's go. And then we jump in the water. And they're there, swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. And now the legs start hurting because it feels like the more we swim, the further away is that island that I thought was so close. And then, oh my goodness, now I have, oh my goodness, in my legs, I can't move my legs because I have like achy, like my legs, they're aching now. My right leg is aching now. I can't keep going. No, keep going, and then I keep swimming. Now my left leg is also aching. Oh, it hurts. And then, but at least I had like a little protector in my neck, right? Uh, just in case I am sinking. And then I keep going, and then now the arms they also get like achy, and I cannot move the legs anymore. They can't move the arms anymore. And it's like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, and I'm just there in the middle. And then I look to the person beside of me, it's like, let's go back. And then I turned back. Oh my goodness, we actually swim like by lots, and are just at the middle right now. So we have two choices here. We can keep going to get to the island, which is the destination, or we can go back. But guess what? The distance will be the same because we got to the middle. So then what do we do? Keep going, keep moving, keep pushing, keep, 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 keep on going. Ah, as Diane mentioned, don't stay in a comfort zone. Life is more interesting when we challenge ourselves to the more of life. Diane Morrow. Like, I love Diane. Diane, I'm not gonna reveal her age, but I will say this. I am 47, and Diane, she could be my grandma. And I went on a trip with Diane, and on this trip was a conference, like a large conference. And would start like early in the morning. Would get leave the hotel, like we'd have breakfast around 7, 8 a.m., jump in the buses to go from the hotel to the conference center. And those meetings, like different workshops and different speakers all day long until late at night. And then in the evening, after the keynote speaker, that was like almost a week, but the keynote speaker would have this powerful message, and then people would come to the front for prayer and for counseling and to talk or just for a hug, just to be loved. And here I am with Diane on this trip, and I'm like, I'm done. I want to go to the hotel and sleep. And Diane there going. So then I had this idea. It's like, well, this is my limit. I'm not going to keep pushing myself out of this comfort zone because now it's getting uncomfortable. I want to go back to the comfort zone. So then I have to then convince Diane that it's time for us to go back to the hotel. So then I'm going to feel good about myself because, well, I'm leaving because Diane, she's elderly. So I got to go with her. And then I come to Diane, okay, Diana, let's go to the hotel. And one of these nights, that was like 11:15 in the evening after spending the entire day gave by God to us. And Diane turned to me and said, nope, I'm not leaving just yet. I have a few more people that I want to hug and then I want to just give some love. And I'm like, you're not tired? No, I feel renewed. And it's like, what? Let's go back to the hotel, Diane. And she refused. Full of life. So that when I hear Diane speaking, I stopped to listen. And I'm so grateful to have Diane being part of this call this morning because she just wrote, yes, don't stay in a comfort zone. Life is more interesting when we challenge ourselves in the more of life. This is somebody that is not just doing the talk, she is walking the walk. She's literally full of life and energy, which is like, where is coming the energy? And it's like, yes, it's coming from the Almighty. Say yes. So then if I can get this energy from the Almighty, and my Almighty, I call him God. Oh my goodness. Like the only person that can stop myself is me, nobody else. The only person that can stop you is yourself. And if your environment is not making you happy, if your partner is not making you happy, if your kids are not making you happy, your friends, your job, your circumstances, I gotta tell you this, is no one else's responsibility to make yourself happy but yourself. The happiness that we seek is not in somebody else's lap, it's in our lap. It's our take, our responsibility. So then you find that within, and then you're able to give, but then receive. Like, ah. And then I wanna conclude my conversation. Just going back to this highlight. And let me just get the highlight here because this is like the 6 great points that I wanted to take away from this call this morning. You can have limitless potential. You can start from anywhere, even if you are in a bad point. Face severe reality and fight. It's never too late to rewrite your story. Break the mind and renew your mind so you may experience what is good, what is perfect, and what is amazing. Because now you're getting yourself out of that challenge to face new challenges. Find your inner peace from the place of struggle. And finally, accept the suffering and use it as a springboard to discover your true power. Regardless of where you are, you have the power to change everything. Tomorrow depends on your decisions today. Get out of the comfort zone and regularly train your brain for new victories. Because in moments of despair, remember, you're going, keep striving, even if everyone says that your dream is impossible. Ask yourself that question. What if? Just ask yourself that question. What if? And be comfortable with the decision that you make, despite of the results. More important than reaching the destination is the journey that is leading you there. Guys, every Monday morning that I have the opportunity to come here and share these thoughts and these ideas from the books that I read and from the notes I make and the connections I establish and the challenges that I am facing. And I'm trying to be grateful and embrace it, right? And just live the moment with passion. At times, I say things that I will regret, and I am humble enough to recognize when I am not correct. And sometimes it's even hard to take accountability, but I try it. And I am this individual in progress. And I believe that any one of us, we can reach greater places and we can reach greatest potential than what you're doing. So if what you're doing is already phenomenal, you can do more. You're only using 40% of your natural born abilities. So why not? Because what if? What if? How many people can you impact? How many lives can you change? Right? This is a great conversation. Guys, thank you. Now, before I let you guys go and going with your week and going to your day, if you guys have any comments, any questions. Oh, and before you go, this is important. Drum roll. I mentioned last week, and today's the 29th. So this week, we are officially launching the workshop event that I'm putting together with Steve Cody right here in Ottawa on the Lansdowne Park. We found an amazing location that oversees the football field. Great, great place. We have a personal chef coming. So the 3-course meal is included in that conversations, like on the pre-launch and the launch we are launching this week is $99. We are able to get like a great discount. The regular price is $349. We're down to $99. And I already have some of you guys that we didn't even officially launch yet and said, Sandro, like I am there. Please reserve my ticket. But we are officially launching on the 1st. And if you want to be part, and this is a very intimate event, there's only 12 spots. That's it. And I have already 8 spots committed. So we have a few left. But why do you want to be there? Like, why should you be there? Well, I will be there facilitating, having this conversation with Steve Cody, who is a serial entrepreneur. He is, I would say he's like early, mid-60s, built over 30 different companies. He is a brilliant mind. He's a master of startups. He knows how to start business and turn them into success. And then he's done so much in his lifetime sales of all his business combined. They are doing $750 million. So this is someone that not just talk the talk, but he walked the walk. And a lot of us, we are entrepreneurs, either with our real estate endeavors or with our personal businesses, or thinking about like, what is the good? What is the bad? And what is the ugly? And we're going to have this conversation. So please send me a message. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, any social media / Central Canada. Drop me a message if you want to be part. Again, we are launching on the 1st. We're going to probably be sold out in the first week because I already have most of the spots being counted for. And I want to see you there. It will be a tremendous evening. May the 26th is an evening from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. I want to see you there. But then, despite of seeing you there, next Monday at 7 a.m., same Zoom link, same Facebook link. I want to see you guys here. We're going to talk about the book, Start With Your Why, because I just mentioned, and I want to get back to the book this week. Let's have a tremendous week. Lisa, thank you for our message. Yes, today was like powerful and passionate. Yes, like I love the opportunity to share the things that I'm learning. And this is the one thing that one of my mentors, he asked me to do as an exercise. Every time you learn something new, try this. We go on the micro learning journey. Try also the micro teaching. So if you learn anything new or something that resonates with you, pass the message along, like right away. Share, like right away. Because the more we teach, more people learn. We also grow. We also learn, and we all become better individuals, not just within, but with also the people that are around us. So guys, have an amazing week. Stay blessed by the best. I see you guys all the way up there. And let's unlove each other. Julie from Edmonton, thank you so much. I love to see you here. That's amazing. 2 hours behind, and Julie is here, giving her some love. Guys, I absolutely love this. Have a great